All right, welcome back everyone to the deep dive. You know how this works by now. We take one juicy topic, really get into the nitty-gritty, give you that in-depth knowledge without you having to put in all the work
Right
yourselves.
to the good stuff. I like it.
And today is something I think we all crave a bit more of, especially these days, stress relief.
Oh, yeah. I think we can all relate to that. Everyone's got their own ways of dealing with it, or at least trying to.
Right. And you guys sent in a really interesting article actually from Spavelous Online Magazine. You know, that online magazine all about health, wellness, the whole spa scene. It's called Melt Away Tension, Stress Relief Spa Techniques for Self-Care at Home. Just the title alone got me feeling a little more relaxed already.
Huh, right. It definitely sets the mood. And you know what I found really fascinating about this article? It's not just about like bubble baths and face masks. It actually digs into techniques inspired by professional spa treatments. Things you might think you need a fancy spa for, but you can actually do right at home.
So we're basically bringing the spa experience home. Count me in.
Exactly. And the best part is there's actual science backing this up. The article talks about how these techniques work by activating your parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay, now you're using the big science words on me. Break that down a bit. What exactly does that mean for us non-scientists?
Well, think of it this way. You know how when you're stressed, your body kind of goes into that fight or flight mode? Your heart races, your palms get sweaty, all that fun stuff.
Oh, I know that feeling all too well. Deadlines, traffic, you name it.
Right, exactly. So that's your sympathetic nervous system kicking in. But your parasympathetic nervous system, that's like the opposite. It's all about calming your body down, slowing things down, helping you relax and recharge.
Okay, so it's like hitting the brakes on the stress response.
Perfect analogy. And that's what these spa techniques do. Through things like sense, touch, the whole spa ambiance, they trigger your parasympathetic nervous system, telling your body it's time to chill out.
So it's not just about feeling good in the moment. There are actual physiological changes happening.
Absolutely. Your heart rate slows down, your blood pressure drops, and those tense muscles start to loosen up. It's pretty amazing what a little intentional relaxation can do.
So let's get into the specifics. The article really emphasizes the importance of setting the stage, creating that spa-like sanctuary at home before even starting any techniques.
It makes sense, right? You can't really expect to unwind in the middle of chaos.
Absolutely. It's about transforming your space. And the bathroom often ends up being the perfect place for this. You know, it's kind of already a dedicated space for self-care.
Right. Makes sense. And the article gives some specific tips on how to really create that spa-like atmosphere. First up, it talks about temperature. Ideally, you want the room to be around 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Not too hot, not too cold, just that perfect, cozy temperature.
Yeah, that sweet spot. And, even though it might seem like a small detail, it can make a big difference in how relaxed you feel.
Then there's lighting. I can already imagine how harsh overhead lighting would totally kill the vibe. Yeah, definitely not what you want. The article suggests dimming the lights, or even using candles instead. That soft, warm glow really sets the mood for relaxation.
And I think there's something really calming about candlelight, too. It's like your mind instantly knows it's time to slow down.
Exactly. It's a visual cue for relaxation. And speaking of cues, let's not forget about sound. The article recommends soft nature sounds or instrumental music. Think gentle waves crashing, birds chirping, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, I love that. It's like instantly transporting yourself to a peaceful place. Definitely no heavy metal for this spa session.
Haha, no, not quite the right vibe. The idea is to quiet those racing thoughts and create a more tranquil soundscape.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And of course, no spa experience is complete without scent. The article specifically mentions using essential oils in a diffuser. Lavender and eucalyptus seem to be the go-to choices.
Those are classics for a reason. Lavender, for example, it's known for its calming and relaxing properties. Like, there are studies showing it can actually lower your heart rate and blood pressure just by smelling it.
Wow, that's powerful. And eucalyptus, what about that one? I always associate it with like feeling refreshed and invigorated.
Exactly. It can help to open up your airways, making it easier to breathe deeply. And deep breathing, that's a key stress reliever in itself.
It's amazing how something as simple as scent can have such a profound effect on our well-being.
Absolutely. It's like a direct link to our emotions. So think of it as setting the stage, creating that sensory environment that primes your body for relaxation.
Okay, so we've set the mood, our spa sanctuary is ready. Now let's get to the actual techniques. The article starts off with self-massage. And honestly, I always thought massage was something you needed a professional for. But apparently there's some really effective techniques you can do on yourself.
Yeah, you might be surprised how much tension you can release with just a few simple moves. The article breaks down some really targeted ones. First up, we have temple circles.
Temple circles. Okay, I'm intrigued. How we do this and what's the main benefit?
So it's actually very simple. You use your fingertips to gently massage your temples in small circular motions, where you often feel those tension headaches building up.
Oh yeah, I know that spot all too well, especially after a long day staring at a screen.
Right. So by applying gentle pressure there, you can help to relieve those headaches and promote a sense of calm. And the best part is it's discreet enough to do pretty much anywhere, even at your desk if you need a quick stress break.
Hmm, I might have to try that next time I'm feeling overwhelmed. It seems almost too simple to be effective, though. Is there something more to it than just pressure?
Well, it's thought that the gentle stimulation of those nerve endings in your temples can also signal relaxation to your brain. It's like sending a calm down message directly to your nervous system.
Wow, fascinating. So next up, we have the shoulder release. I personally hold a lot of tension in my shoulders. What's the trick to doing this one effectively?
So for this one, you want to cross one arm across your chest, kind of like you're giving yourself a hug. Then use your opposite hand to massage those muscles in your upper shoulder and neck area.
Okay, so like reaching over and kneading those tense spots.
Exactly. You can really focus on the areas that feel particularly tight or knotted. It's amazing how much tension we unknowingly hold in our shoulders, especially when we're stressed.
Yeah, it's like our bodies naturally hunch up when we're feeling pressured. So consciously releasing that tension can make a big difference.
Exactly. And lastly, for self-massage, the article mentions fit reflexology using a tennis ball.
Now, I've heard of reflexology, but how can simply rolling a tennis ball under your foot help with stress?
Well, reflexology is based on the idea that specific points on your feet correspond to different organs and systems in your body. So by applying pressure to these points, you can stimulate and balance those areas.
So it's like a mini massage for your whole body.
In a way, yes. And even though we're just using a tennis ball here, not doing a full reflexology session, it can still be really effective at promoting relaxation and relieving tension throughout your body.
Plus, it just feels good,
Yeah.
especially after a long day on your feet.
Exactly. It's a win-win. All right, so moving on from massage, the article dives into hydrotherapy at home. Those water-based treatments that are such a big part of the spa experience.
Yeah, I love those. But how can we recreate those at home? It's not like we all have jacuzzi tubs and fancy shower heads.
Right, but you'd be surprised what you can achieve with a simple shower or bath. One of the techniques the article mentions is contrast therapy.
Contrast therapy. That sounds a little intense. What exactly does that involve?
It's actually quite simple. It's all about alternating between hot and cold water in the shower. Spending a few minutes under warm water, then quickly switching to cold for a shorter burst, and repeating that a few times.
Okay, so it's like shocking your system with the temperature changes.
Sort of. It's thought to stimulate your circulation, which can be really good for reducing muscle inflammation and fatigue. Some people also find it energizing.
I could see how that would wake you up.
Huh.
But for someone who's maybe a bit hesitant to jump into a freezing cold shower, what's a good way to ease into it?
Well, you can start with less extreme temperatures, just slightly warmer and cooler water, and gradually increase the difference as you get used to it. You can also shorten the cold bursts at first. It's all about listening to your body and finding what feels comfortable.
Great advice. Now, next up is something I definitely love, Epsom salt soaks. The article recommends using about 2 cups of Epsom salts in a standard bathtub. What's so special about Epsom salt?
Well, Epsom salt is basically magnesium sulfate. And magnesium, that's a mineral that plays a big role in muscle relaxation and nerve function.
So soaking in an Epsom salt bath is like giving your body a magnesium boost.
Exactly. And when you absorb magnesium through your skin, it can help to ease those tense muscles, reduce pain, and just promote overall relaxation. Plus, you have the warm water adding to the soothing effect. It's like a double whammy of relaxation.
And for people who might wonder, how much magnesium are we really absorbing through our skin? Is it enough to actually make a difference?
That's a good question. And, the exact amount is still debated, but there's no doubt that the combination of warm water, the magnesium ions, it definitely contributes to that feeling of muscle relaxation and overall well-being.
Yeah, it just works. Okay, and the last hydrotherapy technique the article mentions is the steam facial. I always feel so refreshed after those. But how do we do it safely at home?
It's actually pretty straightforward. The article suggests the classic method of leaning over a bowl of hot water with a towel draped over your head, creating a kind of mini steam tent.
Okay, so like a DIY sauna for your face.
Exactly. The steam helps to open up your pores, which is good for cleansing. But beyond that, it's also really calming and soothing. You can even add a few drops of essential oil to the water for an extra aromatherapy boost.
I love that idea. Just be careful not to get too close to the hot water, right?
Right, safety first. Always maintain a safe distance to avoid burns.
All right, so we've covered self-massage and hydrotherapy. Now, the article moves on to what it calls advanced relaxation methods. Sounds intriguing. What's first on the list?
So we've talked about using individual essential oils, but this section gets into aromatherapy combinations. It actually gives a specific recipe for a spa-inspired blend. 3 drops of lavender, 2 drops of bergamot, and 1 drop of ylang ylang.
Okay, so it's like creating your own custom scent blend. What's special about this particular combination?
Well, each oil brings its own benefits to the table. Lavender, we know, is calming. Bergamot is often used to uplift mood and reduce anxiety. And ylang ylang, that's known for its relaxing and somewhat euphoric qualities.
Hmm, sounds like a really nice blend. So it's not just about randomly mixing oils together. There's a real thought process behind it.
Absolutely. It's about creating a synergistic blend where the oils work together to enhance each other's effects. It's like aromatherapy 2.0.
I like it. And next up, we have mindful body scrubs. The article even provides a DIY recipe. 1 cup of brown sugar, half a cup of coconut oil, and a few drops of your favorite essential oil.
This one's all about engaging your senses. As you gently massage the scrub onto your skin, you're really paying attention to the sensations, the textures, the scent.
So it's not just about exfoliating your skin. It's about bringing your awareness to the present moment.
Exactly. It's a form of mindfulness. And that can be incredibly grounding and stress relieving. Plus, the physical act of exfoliation, it can be invigorating and help improve circulation.
And I imagine the coconut oil leaves your skin feeling super soft and pampered afterwards.
Absolutely. It adds to that overall sense of well-being.
Okay, so we've now got a whole arsenal of techniques to try. But as the article rightly points out, the key is making these practices a regular part of our routine. And that's often the hardest part, isn't it?
It absolutely can be. But the article offers some great tips on how to make it more manageable, like scheduling specific times for self-care, even if it's just for 20 minutes a few times a week.
So it's like putting it in your calendar, treating it like an important appointment.
Exactly. And if even 20 minutes seems too much, start with just 5 minutes a day even. It's about building a sustainable habit.
And I guess having a dedicated space, even if it's just a corner of your bathroom, can help to get you in the right mindset.
Absolutely. It's a visual reminder that this is your time for relaxation and self-care. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just a space that feels calming and inviting to you.
Now, the article also has a section called When to Level Up Your Stress Relief, which I thought was interesting. It acknowledges that sometimes DIY might not be enough, and a professional spa treatment might be the better option.
Right. Sometimes you just need that extra expertise and a complete change of environment.
So what are some of those situations where booking a professional spa session might be more beneficial?
The article mentions a few, like if you're dealing with chronic muscle tension or pain that just doesn't seem to budge with self-massage, a professional massage therapist can really target those deeper issues.
Okay, so for more serious or persistent issues, it might be worth seeking professional help.
Exactly. And also special occasions like birthdays or anniversaries. Sometimes it's nice to treat yourself to a full spa experience as a form of celebration and dedicated self-care.
Yeah, totally. And I think the article also makes a really important point about mental health. If you're feeling consistently overwhelmed and stressed, a spa visit can provide that much-needed escape and reset.
Absolutely. It's like hitting the pause button on life for a while and allowing yourself to be fully taken care of.
And it's not just about the pampering, right? The article also delves into the science behind these techniques, explaining that the benefits go way beyond just feeling relaxed in the moment.
Yeah, that's what really impressed me about this article. It connects those good feelings to real, tangible benefits. Like, for example, did you know that regular spa and relaxation practices can actually lower your levels of cortisol?
Cortisol, that's the stress hormone, right?
Exactly. So by reducing cortisol, you're essentially reducing the negative impact of stress on your body.
Wow, that's pretty significant. And what about sleep? I know my sleep always suffers when I'm stressed.
That's a common problem. But the good news is these relaxation techniques can actually improve your sleep quality.
Oh, that would be amazing. I'd take a good night's sleep over just about anything right now.
And it doesn't stop there. There's also evidence that these practices can boost your immune function and increase the production of those feel-good hormones like endorphins.
So it's not just about feeling good temporarily. It's about improving your overall health and well-being in the long run.
Exactly. It's a holistic approach to stress management.
Now, for those who really want to take it to the next level, the article talks about creating a solo spa retreat at home. The idea of combining multiple techniques for a longer, more immersive experience sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's like taking all the best parts of a spa day and customizing it to your own preferences. And the article even gives a bunch of additional techniques to explore, categorized by different approaches.
Maybe we can just quickly touch on those categories to give our listeners a broader picture.
Absolutely. So, under mindful relaxation methods, we have things like deep breathing exercises, which are always a go-to for calming down quickly.
Yeah, those are great because you can do them anywhere, anytime. No special equipment needed.
Right. Then there's guided visualizations, where you use your imagination to create a peaceful mental image or scene.
Ooh, that sounds relaxing. I could definitely use a mental escape right now.
And then there's progressive muscle relaxation, or PMR, which involves tensing and releasing different muscle groups to promote deep physical relaxation.
Oh, I've heard of that. It's like systematically letting go of tension throughout your whole body.
Exactly. And of course, there are guided meditation apps, which are super convenient for accessing structured mindfulness practices.
And those are great because you can literally have a guided meditation session in your pocket wherever you go.
Right. And lastly, the article mentions sound baths. Have you ever tried those?
Not yet, but I've heard they're amazing for inducing a deep state of relaxation.
Yeah, it's like being bathed in sound waves. It can be really powerful.
Okay, so that's a good overview of the mindful relaxation category.
Yeah.
What about physical wellness techniques? I imagine there are a lot more options there beyond what we've already covered.
Absolutely. So there are more in-depth massage techniques you can try on yourself, or if you have a partner, you could explore giving each other massages.
Ooh, that's a nice idea. A couple's spa night at home.
Exactly. And then there's deep tissue massage, which can be really effective for those stubborn knots and chronic tension.
But I imagine that one's a bit trickier to do on yourself.
It can be. You might need a professional for that one. But there are also plenty of gentle stretching exercises you can incorporate, inspired by yoga or Pilates.
Yeah, stretching is so important for keeping your body flexible and releasing tension.
And you can even explore using pressure points, drawing on techniques from traditional wellness practices like acupressure.
That sounds interesting. I'd love to learn more about that.
And lastly, the article mentions some quick, stress-busting hand massage tips.
Well, that's perfect for those times when you need instant relief, like during a stressful workday.
Exactly. It's a quick and easy way to release tension and calm your mind.
Okay, so that covers mindful relaxation and physical wellness. What about the environmental elements category?
So this section focuses on creating a calming and supportive environment at home. Like the article talks about creating a Zen space.
Ooh, I love that idea. Having a designated space in your home that's just for relaxation and mindfulness.
Exactly. And you can use things like warm compresses to soothe aching muscles or cold compresses to calm an overactive mind.
I use cold compresses all the time for headaches. They're a lifesaver.
Right. And the article also mentions the broader benefits of heat therapy, like saunas or hot tubs.
Those are definitely relaxing, but not everyone has access to those at home.
True. But even a warm bath can provide some of those benefits. And then there's the comforting weight of weighted blankets.
Oh yeah, those are supposed to be amazing for anxiety and sleep.
They can be really calming and grounding. It's like a gentle hug.
Okay, so that's a good overview of the environmental aspects. What about the last category, holistic approaches?
So this section delves into practices that address stress from a more holistic perspective. Like it encourages further exploration of aromatherapy, not just for scent, but for its therapeutic effects on mood and emotions.
So it's about really understanding the different properties of essential oils and how they can be used to support your overall well-being.
Exactly. And then there's DIY bath soaks. You can get really creative with this, adding things like herbs, salts, and essential oils to create your own custom blends.
It's like potion making for relaxation.
Haha. Kind of. And then there are calming tea recipes. Certain herbs like chamomile and lavender have relaxing properties.
So it's about going beyond just hydration and really choosing beverages that support your stress relief goals.
Right. And the article also mentions using acupressure at home.
Acupressure, that's like acupuncture, but without the needles, right?
Exactly. It involves applying pressure to specific points on the body to stimulate energy flow and promote healing.
Hmm. That's something I'd definitely like to learn more about.
And lastly, there's the simple yet powerful practice of journaling.
Ah, yes, the classic brain dump. Sometimes just getting all those thoughts and feelings out on paper can be so therapeutic.
It's a great way to process emotions and manage stress. So yeah, as you can see, there's a whole world of relaxation techniques out there to explore.
It's really amazing. And the best part is, you can choose what resonates with you and build your own personalized spa routine.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works for you and making self-care a priority.
Now, the article also has a really helpful FAQ section at the end, which addresses some common questions people might have about incorporating these techniques into their lives.
Yeah, I thought those were really practical and insightful.
So let's just quickly go through a few of them, as they might be helpful for our listeners too. First up, how long should I practice these techniques to see results? The article says that while many people experience immediate benefits for more lasting stress relief, aiming for 2 to 3 times a week for about 20 minutes each session is a good target.
Yeah, consistency is key. It's like any other healthy habit. You got to make it a regular part of your routine to really reap the benefits.
Right. And another common question is, do I need a lot of special equipment? And thankfully, the answer is no. Many of these techniques require nothing more than your own hands and a quiet space.
It's really accessible. You don't need a fancy spa membership or expensive gadgets to experience deep relaxation.
And here's a question for all those busy bees out there. Can I incorporate these techniques during my work breaks? And the good news is, yes, you absolutely can.
Those little moments of self-care throughout the day can make a big difference.
The article specifically mentions quick techniques like temple massage, deep breathing, and even some simple pressure point applications as perfect for a 5-minute stress break.
Yeah, those are great for those times when you just need a quick reset.
Now, here's a question I'm sure many people can relate to. What if I don't have a bathtub to enjoy those Epsom salt soaks?
No problem. The article suggests focusing on shower-based techniques like contrast therapy or exploring other options like aromatherapy or self-massage that don't require a tub.
So it's all about adapting to your own circumstances and finding what works for you.
Exactly. There's always a way to make it work.
Is it normal to feel a bit emotional during these relaxation sessions? Apparently, yes. The article explains that as you release physical tension, it's not uncommon for emotional release to follow.
It's like your body and mind are letting go of all that pent-up stress.
Makes sense. So it's nothing to be worried about. It's actually a sign that you're really allowing yourself to relax.
Right. It's a natural part of the process.
Okay, here's a good one. With so many techniques, how do I know which one is right for me?
The article's advice is to first identify your primary stress symptoms. Is it physical tension, mental overwhelm, or something else? Then experiment with different techniques to see what resonates best and provides the most relief for you.
So it's a bit of a trial and error process, but it's about paying attention to what your body and mind respond to best.
Exactly. It's a personal journey.
Now, here's a question for all the parents out there. Can children also benefit from practicing these techniques?
Absolutely. The article says that with some modifications, these techniques can be really helpful for children too.
So it's about adapting the duration and intensity and finding ways to make it fun and engaging for them.
Right. And it's never too early to start teaching kids healthy coping mechanisms for stress.
Okay, what about this one? What if I feel more stressed or agitated after trying a relaxation session?
The article suggests starting with shorter, gentler sessions and focusing on simple breathing exercises to ease into relaxation.
So it's about being kind to yourself and not forcing it.
Exactly. Listen to your body and adjust as needed.
Now, here's an important one regarding safety. Are these techniques generally safe during pregnancy? The article advises consulting with a healthcare provider for personalized guidance. But generally, gentle techniques like deep breathing and light massage are considered safe.
Always best to err on the side of caution, especially during pregnancy.
And finally, for those on a budget, how can I create a spa atmosphere without spending a lot of money?
The article has some great tips for that, like dim the lights, play nature sounds from your phone, and repurpose things you already have around the house to create a calming ambiance.
So it's really about creativity and intention rather than expensive products.
Absolutely. You can create a truly relaxing experience without breaking the bank.
And it's reassuring to know that the article backs up its claims with a list of references, including reputable sources like Time Magazine, health blogs, and wellness websites.
Definitely adds to the credibility of the information.
So, to wrap it all up for our listeners, you now have a whole toolkit of spa-inspired stress relief techniques that you can start using right at home. And the best part is, you can tailor it to your own needs and preferences.
Exactly. Find what works for you and make self-care a regular part of your routine.
Remember, taking time for yourself is not selfish. It's essential for your physical, mental, and emotional well-being.
It's an investment in yourself. And as the article so beautifully puts it, consider what unique blend of these techniques you might discover that unlocks a whole new level of calm and rejuvenation just for you.
That's a great thought to leave our listeners with. So go out there, create your own little spa sanctuary, and give yourself the gift of relaxation. You deserve it.
Absolutely. Until next time, stay well and stress-free, everyone.